Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victorious Hockey Company, and let me see what the word I want to use today, exciting junior hockey discussion group on Facebook, now with 10,000 members. Man, how did that happen so fast? You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. That's WSBN.TV, Facebook, X. I have a couple of ex-wives. That's how that works, X. YouTube. Hopefully this morning you're watching the show in your office, in your living room. Maybe you're watching at 2 o'clock in the morning. Wherever you are, we hope that you had a great weekend and are going to have a great day in hockey. Today is Monday, February 26th. 2024. Today's topic. So, now what for the 2006s? 2006s are coming up next year. They have a lot of options. They can go to college. They can play college hockey. They can stay in youth hockey and prolong the agony or enjoy the experience. Go to junior hockey and many levels along the way there. Today we're going to look at the 2006s a little closer and go through some of the options for those players. As we near the close of the regular season for many players and playoffs and more for the rest, it's way past the point of concern when the topic of next season begins to gain relevance. Today we're going to focus that conversation on the 2006 birth year players because it is the group that has the most options for next season. There are options at the youth level along with the many others within junior hockey. Can't forget the real possibility of skipping junior hockey altogether and going straight to college. Start with youth hockey. And listen, my speech is off this morning, clearly. Pretty bad headache yesterday, so we're going to suffer through this morning. I think I need more coffee. Yes, there is a real option of returning or staying with the AA or AAA program for the last year of youth eligibility. There are players that can climb the ladder of development from AA to AAA or even from a lower level AAA program to a better team, one that's offering a better development opportunity. For every player, no two routes are the same. What works for Johnny may not work for Bill. So the key to youth hockey is getting to a place where you are going to get better as a player. The status quo, if you're playing for the same organization 4, 5, 6 years, that's okay if there's a built-in ladder within the program. If there's not a ladder, if you're playing at the same level and really alongside the same kids year after year after year, something's not working. You want to get better. You want to be a bigger influence on that team. Just by hanging out with the boys, maybe you guys are all climbing the ladder together, but that's just not natural. There's going to be guys that lag behind and guys that spring forward, just the way it is. Then there's junior hockey. We can spend all day in this subject. That's why I'm here. There are so many leagues and levels with teams that only often purposely muddy the waters to catch unsuspecting families off guard. The whole Junior A, Junior B, and Junior C system that was in place years ago has now been muddled. Well, everybody is Junior A. Even the Greater Metro Hockey League calls himself Junior A. The USPHL calls himself Junior A. Teams that were really Junior B before, they're calling themselves Junior A. Everybody wants to be Junior A. It's a lie. It's meant to confuse you, the parent, and the player. So forget all the labels and let's look at the leagues. Reality is the USHL is probably on par with the Canadian Hockey League at the major junior level, or Tier 1. There's a new word for you. The Canadian Junior Hockey League, the 10 leagues across Canada, well, there was 10, now there's 9, plus 3 that might be Junior A. Those guys are all Junior A. The BCHL is Junior A. The NCDC maybe fits into that category, somewhat in the lower end. The NAHL fits in that category. And you have what really is Junior B. That is all the USPHL Premier, the NA3HL. Those guys were Junior B before they did the wrong thing. That was Junior B. All of Canada, every province has a Junior B league. Junior C, that would be the lower levels of the Eastern Hockey League and the USPHL Elite. I guess the Eastern Hockey League, the regular league, I get confused which one's which, would be categorized as Junior B. So pretty much pay-to-play hockey, for the most part, is Junior B. It doesn't really matter. Some programs, the Eastern Hockey League, USPHL, NCDC, and Premier, are really designed to aim kids at D3, college D3, for those keeping track at home. So a family can spend a crazy amount of money chasing the hockey dream only to get to a place the player could have gone to directly after high school. And that's the harsh reality. You can get to ACHA club hockey right after AAA or high school hockey. It's not much of an effort. You don't have to spend, let's say, $30,000 on 4 years of junior hockey just to get to the same place you could have went to right after school. Yes, your player is going to be a little better than the kids coming out of high school, but really they're on the same team. Junior hockey should never have been for everybody. But these days, any player with a checkbook and a pair of hockey skates can find a team to pay to play for. I believe that junior hockey should deliver a real developmental experience and not be little more than a bad social influence on the young men trying to climb the ladder of development. Junior hockey is not your babysitter, mom and dad. If you got a problem child, don't send them to somebody else. That's ludicrous. And we've seen that year after year. When the parents know the kid is off, pain, troublesome, why would you send them off to somebody else? Foolishness. Unfortunately, we see a lot of that happening. More of the latter from today's pay-to-play programs. A lot of real big dummies playing Tier 3 junior hockey out there. The key for any family is to find the very best team where the prospect will play and not be influenced by a bunch of donkeys. It's better to be a regular, everyday player at the 3HL level than to be a healthy scratch every other game in the North American Hockey League. The same goes for a young player in the USHL. You got to play. If you're getting scratched every other game, go to that USHL coach. Why don't you assign me to a NA team so I can play and you can recall me whenever you need me? That makes sense. Players need to play. Guys in that situation, when you're being asked to sit too much, you're in a situation with higher level teams, must strive to raise their game every day in practice and raise your game to everyday status, or face the reality of being moved to a lower team mid-season. That's going to happen. And there's Canada, and that's right now a big mess. 2006 birth year players would have already been identified years ago if they were a serious prospect for the major junior levels of play. So we won't talk too much about that. Hockey Canada did everything within its power to interfere with the BCHL's, British Columbia Hockey League's, exit from the national governing body of the game. And nothing worked. BCHL is stronger now than ever. The mid-season absorption of some of the best teams from Alberta has to be salt in the wound for Hockey Canada. Despite BCHL's exit, the Canadian Junior Hockey League, the other 9 leagues across Canada, remains a viable option for 2006's next year. And so does the Canadian Junior B system. Going to a Junior B team in Alberta or Ontario is often much less money than playing Junior A. But families have to be very careful with all those programs and find the right team, the right operator, because there's a lot of bad operators up there as well. Hey, I'll sign your kid. Here's $5,000, and then you get the training camp, and they're trying to dump that player off on somebody else. They're trying to sell your son like a piece of meat at a cattle market to another team. So families must be very careful to avoid the bad operators. There's a history of deceptive behavior that's designed to separate cash from unknowing parents more than developing hockey prospects. If you get an email from the Greater Metro Hockey League, that's junk. Do not be caught up in that mess. Parents will tell you, American parents especially, that's little more than a cash grab for everybody in the league. Now, they do allow overagers, so if you're 22 this year or 21 this year, you're at 2003, you can go play another year of junior hockey in the GMHL, but it's a pile of garbage. Go to school. Speaking of school, college hockey. This one will get me into serious hot water this morning. There are colleges out there with hockey programs that cost less than pay-to-play junior hockey in some cases. Why would you spend $15,000 to play junior hockey when you can spend $15,000 to go to college? Doesn't make any sense. If the prospect cannot see himself climbing the ladder of development to the NCAA Division 1 or 3 levels, or even ACHA club level D1, then let the kid go to school. Junior hockey is not supposed to be a warehouse for kids just going through the motions. Let's go ahead and drop every vape, dope, and alcohol user into that category. Good morning. The players should be climbing the ladder, or checking out the competitive levels, or checking out of the competitive levels and into the beer league or college club hockey if they're not on that ladder of development. If you can't see yourself making it to the North American Hockey League or making it to the BCHL or USHL, you don't see yourself really striving to reach that level, don't waste your time, don't waste your parents' money, and don't waste the space in junior hockey just going through the motions. Players wasting time are simply wasting space. So, do you need help navigating this highway between youth and college hockey and college hockey? Let's have a conversation. Get in touch with me directly or Michael Moore, and we'll help you. Victorious-hockey.com is our website. Till tomorrow. Hope that you enjoy your morning coffee and have a great day in hockey.